Good day to all the judges. In this video, I'll present to you about SkillSwap Community, a peer-to-peer skill exchange platform. In today's world, the number of university graduates is increasing, but employability remains an unsolved issue. The statistics such as 30% graduates unemployment, 60% graduates are not job ready, and 70% uneven freelance job placement prove the severity of this problem. We also see a trend where graduates with a portfolio has 3 times higher chance of securing a job. Let's dive deep into what's really happening. In this slide, we'll use Sarah as a user persona. Sarah has a strong academic background, but she lacks practical, real-world experience that employers value. For example, employees nowadays look for portfolio, deliverables, project work in hiring candidates. When we analyze the market, we see freelance platforms showing that 80% of projects went to experienced worker. Additionally, online learning platforms were ineffective, and there is a complete lack of peer and mentor support programs to guide users through the isolation of self-paced learning. Using the previous persona, Sarah struggles throughout her university life to obtain real-world experience that can help her stand out in her application. Even when she gets into projects, Sarah faces unfair practices and learns mostly alone due to lack of peer collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing SkillSwap, where learnings, collaborations, and real-world collaborations were breached. I have mapped my system objective to my defined problem statements to prevent scope creep while ensuring efforts were spent in the right area. There are 3 key problems that we aim to tackle here. First, there is a lack of peer learning support. Second, there is limited access to trustworthy real-world projects. Third, manual and time-consuming processes often increases effort. And there is exactly where SkillSwap comes in, where we aim to offer collaborative peer learning support, provide reliable real-world projects, and automate manual processes. To bridge the gaps identified earlier, we propose having SkillSwap as a solution with 4 integrated modules. First, user profile management that allows users to register, log in, manage their profiles, and receive notifications. Second, we have study buddy matching and collaboration that allows users to discover potential study buddies or connections, indicate interest, and get matched. Once matched, messaging would be enabled to support communication. Third, we have the real-world projects portal that allows users to browse and apply for projects, while project owners would be able to review applications and make offer decisions. The system also provides payment tracking and dispute management features to support trust and accountability. Finally, we have AI-powered module where it will be enabling AI-assisted profile structuring, application automation, project structuring to support users throughout the application process. Here's how SkillSwap works for learners like Sarah. First, she connects, then she applies. Finally, she elevates her application by using AI. While performing these actions, she is protected by dispute resolution mechanism for gaining trust. To support this objective, SkillSwap is built on a 3-tier architecture. On user side, we are supporting 3 different roles, which refers to learner, project owner, and admin. On the front end, we are using Next.js as our framework. On the back end, we use Supervisor as our database. For API services, we are relying on Google Cloud Platform to power our AI features, Pusher for real-time messaging, and Resend for email notifications. So what actually differentiates SkillSwap from other platforms? Currently, incumbents operate largely in separate silos. There are 4 main categories of competitor that we have managed to identify. Each of them have their own focus and limitation. By conducting a thorough analysis on the existing platforms, we've identified a critical gap in which learners often struggle to gain experience, lack peer support, and are unable to present themselves professionally. And that's exactly where SkillSwap comes in, where SkillSwap addresses this gap by integrating peer learning, beginner-accessible real-world projects, and structured career support into a single guided ecosystem. So what's the impact or benefit that SkillSwap could potentially bring? SkillSwap impacts learners, universities, and NGOs across the value chain. Firstly, we give learners an equal platform to build verified portfolio. Second, we provide SMEs and NGOs with better access to affordable, motivated talent to help them scale. Finally, We also allow universities to track and ensure the actual workforce readiness of their students, and this creates continuous value for all stakeholders while directly supporting SDG 4 and SDG 8. Next, this slide shows where SkillSwap plays its pivotal role. Our main revenue streams come from university and premium AI subscriptions, and we have a phased go-to-market strategy starting from a pilot to larger scale deployment, then slowly expanding across Malaysia and potentially beyond borders. SkillSwap current state is already functional and ready to be extended into commercialization. If you look at the financial projection, SkillSwap is also poised to break even in year 2, generating a revenue of close to 2 million ringgit in year 3. We have clearly listed down our revenue assumptions based on target pricings, as well as accounting for capital and operating expenditures. Now, let's move into the demo part. For the demo part, we'll just focus mainly on the main module. So today I'm Jillian and I'm interested to explore SkillSwap as a platform. So as I click on sign up, I would be able to enter my relevant information. And once I click on create account, I'll be prompted to enter my bio. And in this case, after I entered my bio itself, I can click on AI Refine to help me to refine my profile details. And if I'm not too sure what skills do I have, I can enter a brief description that it would actually help me to autofill all the skills that I have by having Gemini. And after I've done inputting all my relevant details, I can click on continue where I need to agree to terms and conditions to proceed. And once I click on agree, I'll be directed to the dashboard page where I would be able to take on a tool to help me to familiarize myself with the features that we have with the SkillSwap platform. For example, now, as you can see, you have the My Applications page, Find Study Buddy page, Payment and Trust dashboard page, Manage My Network page, Dispute dashboard, Messaging page, Notifications page. So now, as you can see, I'm on the Learner's dashboard, and as you can see, there's a list of connections suggested here based on this domain that I'm an expert in to help me to broaden my connection, and I send a connection request to Cheng Hong, and Cheng Hong has received in-app notification and email notification. And as Cheng Hong clicked on the redirect link, he could be able to accept the request or reject the request, and in this case, I have accepted the request and initiated a conversation with Jillian by sending a hi message. And as you can see, the message thread was actually updated in real time, and Jillian can also send any attachments, in no matter it's in PDF or in images format or PPTX format, to Cheng Hong, and it will be updated in real time where Cheng Hong would be able to view it. So now Jillian would like to connect with potential buddies that could exchange skills or learn together with her, but as she browsed through all the profiles, she's not interested in any, and there is, as you can see, the next slides will be refreshed in 12 hours time. Now to log in as Aisha, one of the project owners we have, and as you can see, they have connections. I sent a connection request to Cheng Hong, and as you can see, Cheng Hong have received both in-app and email notifications, and Cheng Hong have accepted the request, and there is where they could kickstart their conversation by exchanging thoughts on the projects that Aisha is currently having. Aisha will receive email notifications and in-app notifications on successful match and the message that Cheng Hong has sent. Now, I would like to create a new project, and by simply having this AI-assisted project structuring feature, I could enter a brief description, and this Gemini-powered AI functionality will help me to structure my project and generate milestones accordingly. If I feel unsatisfied, I can also change it manually. In this case, I'm going to position this project as a paid project with 2 participants. And there's where, after I completed all the details, I would submit the form, and there's where, as you can see, as a learner, I'll be able to view the newly updated project, and as I click on view owner's profile, although the trust score is low, I still decided to give it a try. And as you can see, I'll be using this AI assisted application structuring tool where by simply uploading the resume, it could help me to tailor the cover letter and my application info based on the project that I'm applying to. And if I'm not satisfied, I can also manually change it, but I'm satisfied with it, so I'm going to submit my application. Upon submitting the application, Aisha will receive both email and in-app notifications on it. Aisha will be sending an offer, and as you can see, Ching Hong has received both email notification and in-app notification that he has received an offer. Ching Hong has decided to accept the offer, and as you can see from here, Aisha will also be notified that Ching Hong has received and accepted the offer. And there is where the onboarding step comes in by creating a group chat with Ching Hong to discuss on what will be the next steps itself. And Aisha Lim has sent a hi, and as you can see, Ching Hong have received notifications on him being added to a group chat and the message, and Ching Hong has sent a reply message and attachments like images or PDF. As I click on the attachment, I will be able to view the attachment, and from here, let's assume if I have completed the deliverables as Ching Hong, and this is the time where I would be able to submit the deliverable. Attaching any attachment or notes, and then from there, once I have submitted it, as you can see, Aisha Lim will be able to receive email notifications, and there is where you can view the attachment for the deliverables that Ching Hong has submitted, and in this case, he's going to approve. And there is where a payment window would be open, and Aisha Lim would need to pay Ching Hong, our platform, within 7 days. Now, let's just assume Ching Hong have received a payment, but payment amount is lesser than the promised amount, and there is where our trust and dispute mechanism comes in, where Ching Hong will be able to submit or raise a dispute. So once the dispute has been raised, as you can see, you can view the details on the dispute dashboard itself, where once the dispute is raised, a negotiation window of 3 days would be open, and all parties involved, which would be referring to project owner, admin, and learner, will all be notified through in-app notification and email notification. Both parties can also propose resolution, but in this case, I'm very mad, so that's where I don't want to negotiate, and that's where I want to escalate it to admin. And there is where, as I log in into admin email, I can see that admin has received email notifications and in-app notifications, and as an admin, I'll be able to view the dispute detail and perform actions to resolve it. And in this case, I'm going to reduce the threshold for Aisha Lim by 1 and open a payment window by demanding full payment from Aisha Lim. And once I have done it, a dispute would be resolved and all parties will be notified on the outcome itself. As you can see here, Aisha Lim has received the email and in-app notification, while at the same time, Ching Hong has also received email notifications. And he can also click on View Resolution to view the resolution notes, what has been done. And at the same time, he has also received in-app notification. In essence, SkillSwap is ready to create a systemic change and impact for all graduates to become job ready in this challenging market. Together, let's redefine the standards, connect learners to opportunities, and enable real-world project participation for everyone. This is SkillSwap, and this is where real change happens. Thank you.